this and ready to go. All right, Teaples time. We can keep talking about the Minecrafty things, but we had a nice, lovely, like, sit down chat about the Hermitcraft TCG. All right. Oh, I logged off over here. Sweet. All right. Well, that's convenient. Okay. So, for anyone who wasn't here and missed last stream, or you missed the well, last Minecraft stream, I should say. So, the last Minecraft stream was part of the Twitch Moons guild raid train thing, and I showed off a bunch of the builds from all around the server, including this one that Iggy had made me of my beautiful Stargate nether portal. So yeah, whee! It's so good. And now, today, what we're gonna do, as you can see over here, ow. As you can see, I've got a tentacle-looking thing coming out of the water. And over here, I've got some dirt outlines of some more, tentacles coming out of the water. So what I want to do is finish making the outlines, the dirt outlines all the way around, and then probably start making some of the actual tentacles. So we've got about like 2 to 4 left to do, because I kind of want to make it, if I go into like the map, if we go about, like, there's one here, one there, one there, one there, so we need another one here, 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 and here. So I want kind of like 4 on each side. So yeah, that is what we're gonna do today. Whoops, I fail. You were reacting to the Minecraft flavor text, more like a tentacle. Haha, yes. So that's what we're going to do. I think I'm gonna turn off shaders for now, just cause I would like my frames just a little bit. So I do in fact need to get my stuff back. Give me a second. I don't have my trident on me. Okay. Give me up here. There we go. Okay. Grab my shit, because I put it away before the next stream. Or before, like, the last stream. Okay, so where did I put my stuff? Was it in here? No. Was it this one? This must have been it. Okay, let me chuck... Okay. Let's put this away. Got some shulkers. It's got white wool in it. Oh, that's why I had the wool, because the last time we were actually in like the deep dark. I forgot. Yeah. Okay. The white wool. There we go. Okay, so I have Swift Sneak, but I can't. Right, I forgot that we were gonna try and like put the Swift Sneak on the boots. Hello, Twitch Sensei. Hi, Bouncy. Hi. What's up? I forgot that I was totally gonna put Swift Sneak on these boots and see how much it was gonna be on creative mode. We'll leave that for another day. We'll do another Gamba. I refunded all the points because we just totally forgot to do that. Let's see, put that away. Okay, we don't need those. I don't need this coal. For some reason, I have that in my pockets. We need these. Actually, you know what? I don't want the skulk right now. I'll grab the wool, or the warped wart, and the dirt. I'm gonna need more dirt, I think. God damn it. All right. Do I have more dirt? Do I need to go get some? I don't have not enough dirt. Oh, there we go. I got some. Okay. Oh. Come here, you. Okay. Nope. Oh, shit. That's the other thing that I needed to grab. I need the trident. Thank you. Okay. Golden carrots. Alright. Get me out of here. Alright, so we got a nice, lovely swirling tentacle right here. And then we're gonna make another one. Now, where in the next chunk do I want to make this? Because I kind of tried to make them split up enough. So I gotta make this one here. And about this chunk, I think. Right about here. Let me go F3. Nope. F3G? There we go. There's the chunk border. Okay, so I want in here. Let's see. I should grab like some water breathing so that my breath can last longer, because it actually does not feel like it lasts long enough. I could grab like a conduit maybe, but that sounds like effort. So how long did I make this? How big did I make this here? I made this 1, 2, 3, 4, and then, okay. We'll do the same over here. This is just gonna be vibing time. Okay, we want it over here. Okay, do I want to make this right in the middle? I guess. Yeah, it's vibing time. Everyone's allowed to vibe. If you want to lurk, you can go ahead and lurk. There's also a command if you want to use that. That is a thing. Okay, so I'm gonna make the tentacle. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna make this directly in the middle, because I have enough space for it. Or put it a little bit off on the side, I think, because otherwise it'll be too far away. I don't want it to do that. About here should be fine. Okay, and then actually wait. How far from the middle? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so it is just actually 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. Go. Okay, you. Now there's a method to my madness, except for the fact that I don't have a shovel. I need that. I need this one. I don't need that. Get me out of here. Okay. So we need to go. Wait, is that how I wanted that? Yes. Give. Oh, right. That's why I had shaders on, because then I could see shit. Okay. That's why I had shaders on, so I could see things underwater. All right, well, we're just gonna have to do that. If it gets laggy, let me know. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. Okay, there we go. And I need to grab. God damn it! I don't need this. What the? Oh. Can you not? Get out of here. Get out of here. Uh-oh, you're turning into a dragon. Ooh. Not that I need iron, but... Okay. Let's just make sure that this is the size that I want. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. Okay, and then this needed to be 4? Wait, am I crazy? What length is this? Oh. No, it actually just is that. It's just not centered. Okay. It's not gonna bug me at all. Is this one centered? No, okay, never mind. I consistently was uncentered. It's fine. All right, we're fine. We're not gonna worry about it. Okay, 1, 2, 1, 2, and then 2, 3, 4. Ah, I hear you in my ears. Can you not? Go away. Be gone. Get out of my face. Ow. Yeah, I know. I definitely need, like, something. How do we make a potion of water breathing? Ah, I'll do it later. Cannot be bothered. Okay. Nope. This needs to go here, and then we can do this. 2. Okay. I keep hitting it with my fist when I could just not do that. We're gonna actually scooch this. Wait, what? 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. And then... The fuck? Okay, hang on. I messed this up. Oops, I didn't want the gravel. Ah! I messed something up. Because I don't want this to go out of the chunk. So... What the hell did I do? Did I just do this wrong? Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. Okay. 1, 2. You're on that one. 1, 2. Okay. That is correct. 2, and then... Ooh, it's RuneScape time. Okay, do these. Ow! Okay, no, that's just me. 2. Ah! I know I'm dying. Shush. Leave me alone. There we go. Got it. Nope, that was wrong. This way. It's fine. Let me grab my stuff. Okay, now I can go up. I'm going. Okay. Next up is winging it. So the current... Here's what we need to do. Get out of the water and not die. Actually, I wanted to go on the wall here. Woo! Okay, F3G, get out of here. Okay. So here's the thing. I want to make it so that, like, the tentacles are, like, they look good from walking along here. So as you can see, this one's coming forwards. This one's, like, twisting upwards. The other one's curled. So I want them just to kind of feel, you know, like a creature coming from the ocean. Creature from the sea is reaching out, and it's just kind of like chilling. So I want to figure out a way to have that coming from here. I need to do this. Okay. You two... 2, 3, 4. And then 2, and then... What the fuck happened? Huh? What? The hell? 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Oh, it's because I'm silly. That's why. Got it. I fixed it. Don't worry. It's all good now. Or maybe it's not? Hang on. Oh, there's 3 here. What the? What am I doing? What is happening? Okay, hang on. I'm fucking this up badly. Okay, fixed you. And then you need to be here? Ow. What the frick? Okay, and then this needs to go here. Yeah, to... The knockback of my dying is so intense and I hate it. Can you not? Can you stop? Okay. And then... do that. Alright. There we go, I fixed it. I'm going out of the water. Okay. Now that that's fixed, it's time to raise the tentacle out of the water. But how? Do we want to do like another twist, maybe? Because we could do like another twist. Because we got one coming towards, we got another, that there's this twisting one. So if we go underwater, ooh, that's pretty. Woo! So if we go under here, you can kind of see it's sort of twirling. And then up here, it's a harder curve. Eh. And then you can see this one's a lot, this one's just kind of chill. And this one is a lot more of a heftier curve. Ow. So that's kind of how I want that to look. So we could do another... you know what, we'll just wing it. We'll see what happens. Go up here. Okay, so... let's see how this looks in here. So this one's this way, that one's like facing this direction. So we can make one that's facing maybe that way. We can have it come towards this again, or we can have another spiral. I think we can have another spiral right here. That would be kind of neat, I think. Because we've got one that's flat this way, one that's flat that way, one that's kind of flat in this direction, and this one that's a curl. So this is the only curled one. So I think we can have another curling one here. Okay. Let's bring this up. If we want this curled, let's do it, because that one's curling in that direction. Okay, that one's going in that direction. So let's go maybe in this direction then. Yeah, so we'll start going from this here and then come up that way. Do that. 2, 3. And then depends on how sharp of a turn we want this. Maybe just like a little bit. One, 2, 3. This is gonna be like a little bit of trial and error here, but this is what we're here for. Okay, you do that, and then how did I do the other one anyway? I think I curved it back this way as it went up. So let me just do this. Okay, step that one back. Get rid of you. This one's starting to go... Okay, wait. Do it this way. Alright. Up you get. Okay. So now we've got... maybe I need to do this over here. There, that's probably better. Okay, and then we're not gonna be able to see the turn until it comes out of the water anyway. Okay, I need to actually get on top of this. Give. Okay, and then we're just gonna have to do this nonsense. 2. And then... Now here's the tricky part. Because that's going here. Yeah. Because that's... Do, do, do. Am I winning? Kind of. Not... There's not really a winning factor at the moment. Currently, we are testing and trying our best. Trying to curl this up because we're gonna try and match... Not quite match this one, but we're gonna try and do another curl, but it's gonna go the other way. At least I think I'm making it the other way. Yeah, because that one's coming from clockwise, so now we're going counterclockwise. The Eye of Sauron, yes. That is exactly what it is, essentially. Might as well be the Eye of Sauron, really. But Eye of Sauron with mobs coming out of it. And that is actually the eye, is the nice, lovely, lovely fireball that's right above it. Okay, I actually need to not do what I just did there. I need to go up a little bit more. 2. 1, 2, and now I can turn. Okay, that's 2, 2, and then you had a 1, and then I had, okay, and then I do that, okay. Because I don't want these to be taller than these things. That was my main thing. Okay, I need to adjust my nonsense that I was just doing. So am I winning? No, not really. The answer is no. I'm, in fact, slightly losing. Okay, so that goes here. To me, it looks like a color inverted Eye of Ender. I mean, yeah, no, that would make some sense. That would make more sense as a little bit of like an inverted Eye of Ender. Okay, so up there, and then that had 1, and then 2, 2, up that way, and then we had it go up, and then I had a weird turn to it. So we've got 1 up there, 2, and then maybe this is supposed to be another 2 this way. I think that's how that's supposed to go. Do, 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 do. Okay, this is 2 here. And then we had a 1. This is getting close to this, but that might be kind of fun. Oh no, wait. I don't know. There we go. You came in to say hi, and then your grocery order arrived. Then you got into a conversation with your roommate and started making yourself dinner. Hey, welcome. Welcome, welcome. All good. Glad you were able to, you know, sort out your grocery order and all that. No worries. That's more important than dropping into a Minecraft stream. Get that food. Oh, I jumped up. Okay, we're good. I need my dirt because I don't have a lot of dirt. Oddly enough, I need more. Okay, can I get the buffs, please? I want the buffs. Thank you. I need that. Whoa, too far. Ow. Lurking for the most part of the stream. No worries. We appreciate the lurkers here. Give me up. 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 Nope, that didn't work. Okay, hang on. Oh no, I failed. That's not gonna work. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Give me up. Oh, I did it. I almost did it. Hang on. Come on, dolphin. Help me up here. Come on. Help me up. Help me up. I got it. Nice. It's in the oven? Yes, that sounds so good. What is it? If you don't mind telling us. Ugh, okay. Okay, let me put this here. Is lasagna? Oh, that sounds so good. Just like a frozen... Hey, you know what? Frozen lasagna is still delicious. Doesn't matter. It's already made. We need 2 and then 3, and then I don't know what the fuck I did with that. Okay, so that's a 1. This is a 2. And then I need... Oops. And then another 2. No, that's a 3. This is getting very close to over here. Am I crazy? The hell did I do? I'm gonna fix these. And I'm gonna go over to the other one and see what the hell I did. Do. Alright, hang on. I just need to see what the hell I was doing over there. Okay, so I did do that. So 1. Okay, so I kept going. I went up, went in a diagonal. Oh, fuck. Okay, hang on. Get me up here before the freaking zombie gets me. Get me up. Get me up. Get me up. Oh, I had it. I had it. Fuck. There we go. Okay. Yeah, get me if you can. All right. Anyway, I went up 3. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna try this. Can I scooch over just a tiny bit? There we go. I took a screenshot. Not that it's gonna help, but there we go. Another screenshot. Okay. Not that I want to do this exactly, but I just want to make sure that I'm getting a good sense of this. Okay, so that's like 3, 3, and a 2 up into... Okay, 3, 3, and then we go diagonal 2, 2, and then we go like a 3. Okay, we're good. Come on, give me up. Whee! Okay, hang on. I'm just gonna go right there. Woo! Alright, let's fix this so that it's a little bit more making sense here. Okay. So 3, 3, and then we need a 2. We're gonna go and yeah, so this makes sense. We need the 2 here. Just building and chilling is what we're doing. It's all, we're just doing whatever. Is this right? Yeah, no, this is fine. Need to veg. If you need to get some rest, go get yourself some rest. It's all good. You can always put this VOD on later for some background noise. Okay, so I got, that's one diagonal, another diagonal, and now we need to do this. Give me that one. Okay, never mind. Okay, so we need 2 here, and then I got you up to pay attention to while you play 21-year-old point and click grinding MMO. Nice. Very good. Oh man, this guy is not gonna despawn because he grabbed dirt. Shit. It's almost 6 a.m. Your stream hours are hell for your no. I'm sorry. It's the only time I can do it. I can't do it any earlier. It's literally impossible. I used to not stream until 8 p.m. Pacific. But then I was like, you know what? I could probably stream just like a little bit earlier after I have supper, you know? Oh my god, please go away with your drownedness. You're aware. Oh no! It's so unfortunate, the timing. Okay, 3, 3, 2, 2, and then do a 2 up. And then we gotta do another 2 up. And then... Okay, so 2 up, and then we have like... I'm gonna do another... yeah, we want another one. 2, and then we want the 1, which goes in a diagonal closer to this way. Up this. Ugh. There's so many zombies! Why? What? Why is there so many of you? Why do you need to exist? Stop it. Go away. You don't need to be here. That one just grabbed the flesh of the other and just like, yeah, I'm not gonna despawn now. Aha. Can I hit that one? I can. Get wrecked. Oh, I almost hit him. Come on. Get him. There we go. Okay, so we did this one. Now we need... That's like a 3 and whatever. 2, 3. It's supposed to be 5, sometimes 6 by now. It's almost around about 4:30. Not the best time for you to be awake, but hey, at least you can drop in and say a well without literally passing out. I mean, get your rest if you need to. I do appreciate you stopping by and stuff. You can always just have me on lurk, and you can just, you know, vibe until you pass out, I guess. Oh my god, these freaking skeletons. Can you not? Get out of here. These damn mobs. Okay. Now I'm actually gonna open up my screenshot folder so I can go check this. There we go. Sweet. References. Cooch. So I can see what the hell I'm doing, because the curve worked great. So I want to make sure that I'm doing that again. Should I've done that screenshot in the daytime? Probably, but I don't care. Okay, so I do 3 here. Yeah? No. I think I messed this up. Oh, shit. Oh, free arrows, I guess. And I'll just get the other loot. Let me grab you. And so that it's time for you to go to sleep, mostly because your brain is lagging. Yeah, go get some rest, UA. Thank you very much for stopping by. Much appreciated. I hope you have a good one, and I'll see you in the next stream, whichever that may be for you. If it's Friday, then it be Friday. Okay, so I did that. Did I do this right? The fuck? No, I think I fucked this up. Hang on. Because it does do some diagonals up until... Oh no, that's what I did wrong. I am supposed to go that way, and then I go, oh. Okay. I'm messing this up. Don't worry about it. We'll figure it out. Let's grab all the dirt. Where are you? Okay. I'm figuring out what the hell I'm doing. Okay. Up we go. Ah, shit. Give me my boost. Give me the buff. Thank you. I just need the buffs for like 2 seconds. Oh, can I please not get out of it? There we go. Okay, so these are supposed to still be in diagonals, because I'm silly. Okay, you're diagonal, and then you need to be in a diagonal. There we go. That up there. Okay. So that's a 2, 2, and 2, and 2, and then we need to do... Give me a second. Go to you. And then we need to do one up here. This needs to be in a 3. Right? Yeah, I think so. That is correct. Okay, so 1, so 2, 1, 3. Okay. And then we do another 3, but it's on a diagonal. Get it. 2, 3. This is so close to that. Holy shit. Okay. And then finally we can build this way. So this one is a 2. I think. No, we need to go this way. You fool. Okay, do that, and then what the frick is happening in that screenshot? Okay, that's a diagonal. Yeah, okay. So that's another diagonal 3 up. 2, 3, and then we need another, but it's 2. Like that, I think? This is so weird. What did I do? How have I done this? It's so freaking whack. I don't understand any of what I've done over there. Whatever I did here is sorcery, I swear to God. Okay, that's a 2 plus a 3 plus a 2, and then I think it goes closer. Okay. 2, and then... we're gonna go 2 this way. I think. This is like the weirdest. Is this right? Yeah, I guess. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And I guess it's that way, and then there's... Oh, that one's technically supposed to be 2. Oh. I see. Whoa. I fucked that one up. Okay. Wait, what? Did I? Ah! So 1, and this is a 2, and then a 2. And then this is a 3. So I did fuck that one up. So it's this that needs to not be here. And then do that. Let me fix this. Okay. Do it. So what am I doing? Ah, okay. So I am currently building it's basically the bones of some tentacles that are around the outside of my guardian farm, which is what this tower is. And so I wanted to, and let me go back to the front because I do want to go to the other tentacle anyway, just to double check that I'm doing things right. I'm basically just making the bones of this. So like basically the wireframe of how the tentacle is gonna look, because I don't want to have to do it with the warped wart blocks unless I'm ready to go, because it's just kind of annoying. Where the hell did my... Oh, there it is. Eh. Alright, so let me fly over here, and then over here is where the actual first tentacle, which is a proof of concept for what we're doing. Whew. Okay, so my friend Iggy had built this for me, my nether portal. And so this I did. Iggy had made the tunnel after I gave her some references for how I want the entrance to kind of be. And then she just made this. She made the Stargate portal. And here you can actually go inside. These are wool elevators, which is a data pack thing. But if we go in here, this is nice, lovely, like, underwater, kind of not quite like a Subnautica kind of thing, but basically it. And you can see here, since I'm in here, the base of the tentacle that goes up, and it's not quite done. I just put a bunch of sea lanterns on here so that it's a little bit visible at night. And this was like my first test of trying to try to build something like this organic. It's tricky. And yeah, so this is like the actual entrance. I'd have to break those. But yeah. So once I am done doing the outlines of all of the where the tentacles are gonna go, I am then going to actually start building these. Now, I had an idea with these tentacles to to add some of the skulk, which is this block right here, as well as maybe some of this, which is like the skulk vines. Oops. I don't have it on me, but this stuff kind of like twinkles a little bit if you can look at the animation on it, and it looks really cool. So I was thinking I could have some of these sort of splotched everywhere, kind of make it like a polka dotted kind of tentacle, and it would look a little bit more alien and not nearly as samey as, like, say, the blocks that are on the tower itself, but it would still kind of match and, you know, fit with the rest of the color palette. So that's currently what we're doing. So we've got one tentacle like swirl over here, and then we're gonna have 3 more. So there's one here, one right there, and then there, and then this one that we're currently working on. The next ones that are gonna be anywhere is we're gonna make one right here, pretty close. This is actually where my old portal was before Iggy made this one. So we want one right there, kind of like to match here, because I want them evenly distributed. And then one right there, and then finally one last one on the opposite side of this one. And I kind of want to mirror this one a little bit so that they're kind of like spreading on either side. So if I go over this way, you can kind of see how this one kind of like, damn it, hang on. All right, there we go. So that one kind of just gently arcs out of the water just a little bit. And so I want the other one to mirror that coming out this way. Because I don't want them too tall, because I don't want them taking up, you know, all the attention away from the towers or the big old tower itself. So I'm just not making them super tall, which is why this one's kind of curved like that. And that one, these don't like take away too much from it. If I sit here for a minute, we can actually wait until the sun goes down, and it looks really pretty. The whole tower looks absolutely gorgeous. Oh. So the last time I was building that fireball up there and making it look much prettier, and all the tendrils a little bit more. You'll have to see it, but Mormon gonna go do things with lasagna. No worries. Go deal with your lasagna. Go consume the food. Anyway, I'm actually gonna go over here real quick because I want... damn it. Okay, hang on. Come on, let me... Okay, well, it didn't want to let me do that. Okay, so... We've got... Okay, 1, and this 2 is 3, 2, 2, 3, 2... Okay. This is really pretty. Haha. Okay. And then there's this one, which gently slopes upwards and around. Okay. Come back over here. Double check that I didn't fuck this up. Again. Okay. 2, 2, 2. This one's a 3. And then this is another, like, 2 here. And then... Know what that is? Whoa, that's a 2 to go forwards. Okay. We don't want that one. And we need to go up more. There we go. Oops. Okay. I fucked that up. Yeah, no. No! Aw, shit. Give me back up. And then we can go back to the front to look at the prettiness of... Oh, frick. Okay, hang on. I'm just gonna get the buff. Give me the buff, please. Thank you. Okay. Because then we can jump up 2 blocks and it's not as much of a pain in the ass. Okay. There we go. Okay, and now I think we got it fixed. So now we've got this twirling inwards towards that. It should look good, I hope. Got another hour, sweet. I'm gonna go back to the front. Woo. And it looks gorgeous. All the pretty lights. And then on the back of this is the Stargate symbol. Ow. Whee! I just love how this looks with shaders. It's so pretty. Look at all the lights reflecting. It almost like looks like there's a bit of a thing. I'm so shocked that you would use sci-fi iconography. Wow, sci-fi iconography? Oh, it couldn't be me, the one named sci-fi. What a shocker. Surprise! And again, I didn't make this. My friend did. My friend made my portal for me, but I love Stargate, so that, you know, that tracks. It's why she made it that way. But yeah, so got this thing, and it just looks pretty at night with all the lights and stuff. My friend also knows me. Yes, no, she knows me. Hence why she did the Stargate symbol, because, and as a surprise. I didn't ask her to do it. I didn't ask her to make it a Stargate either. She just did it. She just wanted to make like a portal. I need to check and see how full this is, because I've been in around here. Okay. We're not nearly as... Okay, never mind. We are very much full. Okay, we're getting there. These need to be emptied so bad. Okay, no, these ones are okay-ish. Damn it. Okay. Very close. But yeah, no, this is the actual Guardian farm. All the Guardians, like, fall down here to their doom, and we get their drops, and it goes into these ice chutes. And then gets automatically sorted out the back. It gets all the way over there. Anything extra goes into the incinerator. And this is actually where we have cooked cod, because there is just so much of it. It's insane. In fact, it's so insane that usually this goes off if there's too much. Yeah, this should be going off, actually. This should be going off. What happened to you? Did someone lock it? Huh. This should be going off. Why aren't you going off? Someone... Hang on. What? Why aren't you doing anything? There it is. Oh, is it just because this was so full it didn't go down? Oh. Oh, I see what happened. Oh. The overflow doesn't go in there. Ah, oh, shit. Okay. It got so full it couldn't go through. Oh. You know what? I'll deal with that later. That makes sense. Anyway, up we go. Our stock is very high. Let me get the hell out. I don't need to use my rockets. I can just do this. Okay. Next tentacle. Finished. Let's see how it looks like on the walkway as we approach in this direction. Looks pretty good. It's like reaching upwards. I feel like I need it to be closer though. I didn't make this close enough, I don't think. Because I think that one's pretty close. How close did I make this one? Yeah, it's like reaching closer to the thing. And it is fairly close to the wall itself. I think this one's too far away. Just for the sheer fact that, like, it's kind of curling away from the thing. Oops. Yeah. Ow. In comparison to the others, it's definitely this one. Yeah, this is definitely like too far. I need to scooch the center bit so that the curl is in here. Okay. Now that I know what the hell I'm doing, I can get rid of this briefly and rebuild that so that's a little closer. I know what I'm doing now. This just comes with building the bare bones. We'll fix it. Just need to scooch everything over. Oops. Okay. So we need to scooch you. Okay, we need to move the center of this. Should have kept that up so I can measure things. I want this one right there, and then yeah, we'll do the center like right here, right on the edge of the border. Yeah. So that can be the new middle. Get rid of these. This will be way faster. Now that I know what I'm doing, this will be much faster. We're in the warm-up stages, and now we're going. Oops, I destroyed the one that was going to be the middle. My bad. It's fine. Nope, that's middle now. We're good. Okay, and 2, 3, 4, and then 5. Ow! I know. Okay, let me grab all the things that are broke because I need my dirt. Give me my dirt. Okay. Down we go, back into the depths. Okay, where the hell did my block go? There it is. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. 2. This is gonna be here. Yeah. Yeah, no, that's gonna be how that goes. Yeah, that'll be way closer to the wall. But I think it'll be worth it. Because it's gonna be... Because this is actually gonna go away from the wall. Okay. I want it that way? 1, 2, 2, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, and then get rid of those. Oh my god, can you not? Get out of my face. Okay. Yeah. Grab that one. Wait, what the fuck? Yeah. This way, and then 2. Oops. I think I did it. I think I know what I did wrong. 1, 2, 1, 2. What? 2, 3, 4. The hell? How did I fuck that up? I don't know how I did that. Whatever. And then do you... Eh. 2, and then... How did... I don't know how I managed this. I messed that up somehow. Huh. Weird. Okay, we need to make the center this block. Because otherwise it looks weird. That's a little better. And I'm gonna actually move this way. Okay. That's much better. 1, 2, 3. And then 2, 3. 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. How many 3s did I have? I guess it doesn't really matter. One, 2, 3, and then okay. 1, 2, 3, and then we do like a 2. That wasn't a diagonal. 1, 2. We do another 2. Aha! There we go. Okay. Now it breaches the water. Okay, and then we need to do 1, 2. Do this one. Till there's like 3 blocks. And then... I think this is a 2. Whoops. 2, 2. Okay, diagonally this way. Yes. Beautiful, beautiful. This is working magnificently. Not a problem to be found. And then I accidentally will break something. Okay. Okay, and then once we do that... So 1, 2, and then we do a block to the side. No, diagonal is upwards. Get rid of you, and you as those blocks. And then 1, 2, 3. We'll get no, this one goes this way. Is this right? I think it's right. I hope so. Otherwise, I just fucked it up. That's one block. Oh, no, wait. No, this is supposed to be just a 2. Fuck. Hang on. This is supposed to be just a 2 blocker. And then... Ooh, yeah. And it's supposed to be a 3rd. 2, 3. Yeah, okay, so there's 1, 2, and a 3. And then we do another 2 here. Ah! Okay, well. Guess we're down here now. And while we're down here, we're just gonna reassess what we're doing. This looks correct. Just get rid of some of these excess blocks. Uh-huh. Okay, that looks right. Ugh, shit, I fucked it up. Never mind, we're going up. Let me up. Let me up here. Oh man, I missed. Let me up. Oh, frickin' goddamn it. Up. Ha! There we go. Okay. You... And we need that 2 there. And then... We need this to be a 2. Yeah. I feel like this curve is a lot more different than what I originally had, but it's fine. You know what? It's curling this way. It's whatever. Okay, and then so now this is here. Yep. We're gonna do yeah, this is 3, 2, 3, and then we're gonna curl back. No, that's not what I wanted. That's awful. What did I do? Nope. What the hell happened? Oh, that's why. There we go. Fixed it. Okay, and then we do another one of these. With this. Woo! Get rid of that. I can't see anything. Okay, and then now that we're doing that, curl it back this way. That is such a high jump. Okay. That's a 2. Okay, and then we want... Kind of wanted the curl to go the other way, but that's fine. This one... There we go. All done. Curl finished. Beautiful. Now we have this one coming towards, and it is definitely way closer than it was before, which is much better. Yeah, now it's curling towards us. Yeah, look at that. Look how majestic that would be to walk past that. Oh, is it taller? Oh, fuck. I didn't want it to be taller than that. You're not supposed to be taller than the tower. I don't want that. In that case... Let me lower some of these. Same deal, but we're just gonna make this lower. Let's see. When do we want to do this? When do we want to do this? Okay. We're going to do it right here. That should be enough to lower that lower than the thing. Okay. U plus... Okay, that's a 2. Yeah. 2, 3. Get rid of you. Get rid of these. Okay. And then we want... Yep. Up there. And we need that too. Get rid of you. And then this one is 2, 3, 2 again. Grab you. 2. Oh wait, did I do that right? Yes. Yes, I did. We're good. 2, 3. Get rid of you, get rid of you. And then do the same thing over here. 2. I don't know how I managed to make that not there, but it's fine. Okay. That back that way. Do 2, 2. There we go. And now do that, and then we need to do... Up we go. It's 2. And then we get a 1. And then we get a this one. Okay. Down we are. Yes. Okay. Now this is this not taller? Or is this like even? What is this? What level am I on? This is 80. What's this one? Ah, frick, get me up here. What is up this? It is 81. Okay, so we're just 1 block shy. That's fine. I just don't want it to be actually taller. We can live with 1 block less. No one's gonna know. Okay. Give me up. Come on. There we go. Okay. There, now we have a nice lovely tentacle curling up this way. Then we have this small little baby boy over here. How tall is the curl on this end? Hello. Hi. How about you go away? Be gone. Why do you come into a stream just to fucking tell someone that they're dumb? Not expecting them to just be like, leave. As a first time, like, message. Nah. Be gone with you. And in fact, you don't even get a timeout. You know what you get? Just get that. There you go. Be gone. You don't just come into someone's stream as they're chilling and vibing and stuff, and then just insult them. No, fuck off. This is my stream. If you think something's stupid, guess what you can do? You just fucking leave. You have the power to leave. What did you miss? Someone just came in and it's just like, Sci-Fi Girl Games did more like stupid. And I'm like, fuck off. Like, what do you expect is gonna happen? You're not gonna be allowed. We're vibing in here. If you think something's dumb, fucking go. You don't need to announce your departure or like make a reason. Just click the X button on the tab. Go outside. Go touch some grass. Go read a book. Do some dishes. I don't care. Just don't be in my stream being dumb and mean for no reason. Okay, that one's done. We're fine. Next is this one. So, what do I want to do with this one? We're gonna put it in this chunk. Why are people like this? Who knows? They just want attention. You know what attention they get? The ban. Then they don't get any more attention because they're gone. Not allowed to watch, not allowed to do anything. In fact, the second I ban them, they can't even see this. Okay, so I want to put this in this chunk. Now, how do I want to look over here? Because there is just a bit of space right here where there's just kind of like a... not a great cliff. You just kind of vibe, just kind of bland. And then we're gonna have like another piece over here. So we could have them point towards each other. I kind of want... kind of be fun to have like a, just like a tentacle going like that or something, but it's not like we want to like make a nice pose to like this. Yeah, that'll work. All right, so where am I gonna put this thing? If I'm gonna make it reach across, I might want to put it more on this corner right here, because this one's pointing out this way, but it's like curling in, so it's actually coming of... if I can scroll in here, yeah, I think it's like curling inwards. So it'd be kind of interesting to have these two kind of curl this way, kind of outlining this. So it'd probably be about here. We could kind of see if we can curl it this way. I just don't want it to be too close to that one, because this one's here and this one's on the far end, so this one's kind of like on this edge, so it would make sense to put it a little bit over here. Assuming I put this one on the further edge. Yeah, we could probably put it here. Alright, there's a drowned. Can you not? Be gone with you. Come on. Get out of here. Nice. Alright. This corner right there. F3G. Okay, right here. So if I want, I'll put it on the edge in here. So that means I can maybe start the middle in this direction. And then whatever goes over this way. 1, 2, 3, and then 4. Oh, no, that needs to be 5. Yeah, that's fairly close to the wall in comparison. Because I do want, like, some space here. Okay, and then let's go... 2... 3... And I'll put it on this end. Actually, no. You know what? I'll put it this way. 2... There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Put that one there. Okay, so 4, and this is 2. I'm gonna confuse myself where all this stuff is. This is like right on this. Ooh, I don't know if I want this like right next to, but I kind of don't really have a choice. I didn't expect this to be right on this chunk. I could make this... Hang on. could make it like right in the middle, but again, that's too close. It's fine. Okay, that one is 1, 2, 3, and then 4. And then 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. Okay, well that kind of worked, and now it's just in a spiral. Great, that works. Okay, so let's go up. So this doesn't need to go very far, because it is very short in terms of like up here. So we can definitely mess with that a little bit. Might just like arc it that way, and then do like a little like loop. And that should be good. Yeah, I don't think I made... Did I make this one shorter? How'd I make that? 1, 2, 3, 4. I think I just made them all even. Yeah. I don't think I changed the base of any of these. Nope. Just left them be. All right. Woo! Back over here. Okay, I'm gonna try and put this down here on the floor, just so that I can have a better gauge of where things are. Doo-doo. Okay, and then I guess that doesn't match up at all. Oh, that's just because I'm silly. Do, 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 do. Okay. There we go. All right, cool. Let me grab all these. Give me all my dirt. All right, up it goes. We're gonna make this the middle because that makes a little more sense. Just feels a little bit better. Yep. Okay, 1, 2, 3. That's a 4, and then 1, 2, 3. Actually, I have an idea. Let's go the opposite direction. Or we'll curl it back and then it'll curl forwards. 1, 2, 3, then 1, 2, 3. I can place blocks. There we go. Okay, that's good. Okay, that's 3, and now we'll go 2, and then how far do I want to go? I could make this go in a sharper arc, actually. Yeah, I'll make it go a little bit sharper. 1, 2. 2. Do 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Oops. Ah, come on. Okay. These ones. Hey, Yelty! How's it going? Welcome on in. Okay, and then I'm going to... What am I doing? This is actually gonna be down lower. I'll do this. Okay. Now, if I can... Yep. Go up here, and we're gonna do a third. 1, 2, 3, and then we're gonna do 2. This way. That. 2, and then 3. Yeah. Then it's gonna be fun. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay, hang on. 2. 2. These are 3. Get rid of those blocks. I'll do 4. And then I need to figure out how to do this. Give me a second. Ah! Got it. Nailed it. Let's go. Is that gonna work? I don't know. Okay. We're definitely gonna need to fix some of this, because that's not great. Ah! Give me... Oh, I fucking missed. Damn it. The times that I wish that I had that one modded, like, item where you can reach things. Okay. Get rid of you. Get rid of that one, and that one. Oops, maybe not that one. Never mind. That was not what I wanted. Shit. I messed it up. Let me go back onto here. Ah, crap. Yep. Okay. Get me back up here. Uh-oh. Hang on, I gotta land. Oh, frick. Almost didn't land. Okay. So this... Need... Fuck! Every time. Okay, did I want to... I need to make that there. I think I should have made this another 2? And then do the rest. Okay. Can I get up, please? There we go. Okay, let me get rid of this for a second. Just because we're gonna change how high this is. Oh, god damn it. I keep doing this to myself. Come on, let me up. Okay. Good. Now I can do this. Make that too high, and then 1, 2. Get rid of the base blocks, and not the whole block, please. Okay, we did those. Good. Let me make this 3. Two, 3. And then we'll make that up again. Actually, you know what? No, we'll make that 2. Okay, and then we'll do a 3. 4. And then let me just grab that. Okay. 2, 3, maybe. I do want this to be lower. Okay, hang on. Yeah, nice. Oh, I have a water bucket. I'm a fool. I have a better way to get up. I can just have a water bucket. I keep forgetting that this is the thing I can do. Okay, hang on. Let me just water bucket up then. This is so much better. I forget that I can just do this. Ah, fuck. And see, this is what happens. Just so much easier. Okay. Let me put water up from this spot as I figure out my shit. Okay. 2 here. And then... oops. Okay. Let me just... do that. Okay. Nope. Why do I have luck? How do I have luck? Huh? The fuck? Another chest plate. How do I have luck? What is this? Why is there this much luck? Huh? Wait, how long has that been there? Why do I have luck? Why do I have 275 hours of luck? When did I get that? What happened? How do you get this? What? When did this happen? What the fuck? How do you get luck? Huh? I don't remember having this. Iggy? Are you here? How did I get this? I don't think Iggy's here. The whimsical music starting when you realize this. Yeah. No, but seriously, how the fuck? When did I get this? What happened? I don't remember having that. Okay, I need... the god himself. Yeah, the god of luck just went, yeah, here you go. Have some surprise luck. Like, what the hell? I didn't ask for this. Let me see. Now, if I wanted, I can probably do this. And arc this a little bit closer to here. Just for the funsies. And then we'll loop it back. Okay, this should be enough of a thing. I think. Let me see. Let's see how this looks. Okay, so if I make another one over here and make them reach this way, that'll be kind of neat. Do things. Ha. Why don't swords become obsolete? Because they utilize cutting-edge technology. Thank you. Very good. Thank you for the hydrate, Iceman. This might be your favorite or old school RuneScape song. I'll be basic. I like the sea shanty one. I like that one. My favorite one, I think. I think it's just like the pinnacle of like what my brain thinks of RuneScape. Like my brain hears it, I'm like, yeah. Everyone loves sea shanty too. Yeah. Never hit the same way it did everyone else. Fair enough. Sometimes it hits different. Some other things hit different. I think I didn't like play too far into RuneScape, I'll be real. I played a bit, but I also like restarted a lot. And I also got stuck in some places as a kid. So I just, and also I played for free because and so obviously some stuff was like, you know, not you know, grabbable for free players and stuff. You've been playing it on and off for 20 years. I haven't played it in so long, but every now and then I look at it and go, yeah, I could jump on that. Why not? Sure, that'd be really fun. Just like a fun, like, video or stream idea. I'd be like, I played this after 10 years. Let's see what's different. Because I think the last time I played it, I was like, fucking 13, 14. So, yeah. It's been a while. It has been a while for me. Let me try. I'm gonna grab my water again, but I'm gonna try and grab. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna go this way. Okay. And then I'm gonna go like that. That should be fine. There's been a lot of interesting updates. I'm sure that there's been so many updates since I last played it, because the last time I played it, it was still browser. It was still a browser game. It never had its own launcher. Like, it was still Flash. It's been so long. Oh my god, there's 3! Give me my dirt back. I'd play it just for funsies. I wouldn't even like get very far. In fact, I actually when I last like went to my parents for Christmas, I found one of my old notebooks and it had like my RuneScape passwords in it, and I was like, what the fuck are these? It's like my names and passwords and like the reasons why I have those accounts, and one was like for bread. Or like baking. I wanted like a baker and stuff, even though I guess I didn't really know that you could just have like you can just have all the classes to a character and stuff. I just kind of made a new one and also wanted more storage. But that's also like, I think during the time you didn't need an email for like an account. So like it was just doing whatever. Just make a whole new username. It was a wild west of a time for making accounts on video games. You're just like, yeah, you don't need an email, it's fine. Or you have one email that's attached to like 5 different ones. No, I didn't really particularly like that bit. Okay. You remember those times? Yeah. Okay, I'm just gonna leave it this way. It was a long time ago, and all I remember is the beginning part a lot more than I remember anything else. The other thing that I remember is there's like some kind of quest with, oh, what the fuck was it? Was it like a banana and like a rope and some beer, and you had to bring beer back, but you couldn't bring it on the boat because you'd get caught or some shit. I don't know. That was like one of the last quests that I had. It was rum. Yeah, I think we were supposed to try and like smuggle rum onto a ship, but you can't do that. And I couldn't figure out how to get that quest to work. And there was something about bananas. I don't know. I couldn't figure it out. You have to fill a crate with bananas? I had no idea. I just know I got stuck and I couldn't do anything with it. 13-year-old me couldn't figure out shit. And you know, back then there wasn't really like, I don't know, I didn't have access to like online forums or anything to be like, hey guys, I can't figure this out. The hell is this? And I didn't know what the fucking Google. My ability to do anything in the games was within the game itself, and that's it. If I can't figure it out, fuck me, I guess. I'm just done. Child me didn't know how to make things function. I just knew how to get to specific only websites, and that's it. And one of them being just RuneScape. Oh, I forgot that I was gonna put my water bucket down. It's fine. Oops, just smack myself into this wall. Yeah, I don't actually know in like the grand scheme of things how far into Minecraft, like RuneScape that is. Ooh, that's nice. I just know that I got stuck there and that was it. Okay, do I want to keep this up here? Okay, if I don't like how this is arcing up, I'll just make this curl down and it should be fine. Let's make the next one. Your new wallpaper is making you so gleeful. What's your new wallpaper? You should send me a message. Send it to me. Yeah, how the fuck did I have luck? I don't understand. Okay, I need to be at the very end of this one and then make the, or like in the middle of this one. So how far into this one did you go? Very edge of this. So 1, 2, 3, and then this one would be at the edge of that. Go over there. Do you do it in Discord? Okay. Oh, that's cute. I like that. It's adorable. Oh, I like how you have a little countdown. That's adorable. Okay. Put the circle here and then bring it up and bring it over. And then I think I need to make this one here. Yeah, that should be fine. Put it there. You had an event happen, no worries. Pirate's Treasure is a fairly early quest. Okay, so I wasn't very far. Okay, I need to go into... I guess I can probably make it this chunk. Yeah, I'll put it in over here at the very edge. This way. Right there. The countdown is top secret. Oh, yes, very much. You commissioned it with from your friend for $5 American. Best $5 I've ever spent in your goddamn life. Yeah! Support friends! Commission friends! Art! Now you can do things in any order, so you could have, like, completed all of free-to-play and just not done it. No, I definitely didn't play I definitely didn't finish free-to-play. Just trust me. I definitely didn't finish free-to-play. I was probably at max, like, level 20 or 30? I was not very far. I was definitely, like, not at all. Okay, so I want to make this. Okay, let's make this on the edge. Make that here. Whoop. Okay, let's try it this way. 3, 4, and then we'll do 2 here. Ah! That, 2 there. Oh, okay, that's fine. 3, 4, and then 2. Now, one day maybe I'll, like, return to RuneScape just for fun for, like, a little bit. Just to see what's different and what's, like, not changed, what things I remember. I think it'd be fun. But I don't have time for 2 MMOs. And don't have time for 2 MMORPGs, and the only other MMORPG I'm playing is like Final Fantasy XIV with my friends. Combat level? I don't actually know. I'm gonna be real. I don't know what, maybe it was combat level? I know that each thing, like, class at different levels, but I don't know. I have no idea. It was probably combat level. Is what I'm thinking of, because that was probably like the highest one you can have. 3, 4. Come on. Oops. There's aren't really classes. I mean, there's kind of classes, I guess, at least from what I like visualize it as, because you can have like you can level in specialties, I guess, which is kind of a class. as far as my understanding goes with it. I think I need to scooch this. 2, 3. Because you can have like you can level up your like combat level, you can level up your mining level, you can level up the skills to be more accurate. Okay, yeah, that'd be fair. That makes more sense than classes, then it'd be more skill wise. Do I want to go this way? Hey, because that one's gonna be that way, so maybe I'll curl this one to the side a little. Yeah, you could hyper focus on skills, but that's not so much a class as just having skills. Yeah. Yeah, I for some reason in my brain as a child, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna have one character per like skill specialty. We come back to RuneScape itself, it'd be very different. Old school RuneScape would be a lot more familiar. Yeah, no, that's what I would be going back to, is the old school RuneScape. I wouldn't be doing the new like what is it, RuneScape 3 or whatever it is. I'd be trying the old school RuneScape. RS3, yeah. I'd be trying the old school RuneScape. Just because then that would have like at least some familiarity. Okay, what am I doing here? I wanted to curl it back a bit and then go that way. You like RS3 with one huge qualifier? What is that? I want to know. For someone who's played it off and on for like 20 years, I want to hear what your thoughts are on like between old school and like the new one, because I don't really know much of anything about the new one, honestly. I just know that it apparently exists, and that's it. That's all I got. If they didn't have a single thing, one thing, I would adore it. What is the one thing? Let me see, where am I going? I need to make this taller. To be 3, 3, and then 2. Three. Oops, nope, wrong one. Last I played, they were just introducing dungeoneering, so it's been a while. Like for like RS3 or the old school one. New one has microtransactions for a thing called Treasure Hunter. Oh, interesting. I can see how that would be a bit of a point of contention. Ugh. Okay, I want to kind of curl it this way. Let's go 1, 2. That 2? Yes. And then we're gonna kind of curl it this way. Oh, so like already not a fan of microtransactions. And you get keys just for doing quests and logging in for daily stuff. I mean, yeah, that would make sense. You just get keys and stuff, and just like, I guess it's the equivalent of, would you like to grind or would you like to not grind? And then there's people who, it's basically like almost like a pay to win, but not quite. They're just like, do you want to do the effort? There's multiple RuneScapes, yes. I don't know if Yelty has played, Yelty, have you played RuneScape? I don't know if I ever showed you RuneScape. Maybe Booker or like somebody else has, but I definitely didn't. I stopped playing RuneScape probably for the decade. Probably right before or right after the new RuneScape came out. I would probably say. I don't actually know. Okay, I need Booker or redacted. Yep. Booker or Booker 2. Booker or Techie. Just like we need another name. 2013, due to popular demand because of the changes that happened over the past few years, a backup of 2007 was created and called Old School RuneScape. Oh. Backup from 2007, and then they called it Old School RuneScape. Oh, that's what they did? Huh. I didn't know that that's what they did. I thought they just kind of like split it, but them just kind of going, all right, fine, we'll go into our archives and grab the damn game. Here you go. People made enough of a stink about it. They're like, we don't like your things. Stop it. It's actually one more popular. Well, yeah, it makes more sense that it's more popular than the third one because everyone remembers Old School RuneScape. It's like the classic. Of course it would be more popular. It's really been a while. Oh god. It's not, well, yeah, I would make sense why it, like, I don't know, it's not just like nostalgia, but I would assume that a lot of people like the charm of it more than anything. It wouldn't just necessarily be like the nostalgic charm, it would just be it has charm. The 3 part is new to you? Oh yeah, I didn't. Yeah, where did 2 go? Is that just Old School RuneScape but when they got a launcher? Let's see. I don't know what I'm doing with this right now. Okay, let's see if I can't do this. RS1. 2003 was RS2? Oh god. I didn't know. I was definitely playing RS2 because we were definitely playing RS1 and 2, I think. And that was it. And then yeah. I think that's all I remember. Okay, how tall is this thing being again? I need to not have the chunk loaders. Okay. I need to not have the chunks on. Okay, I don't know how the hell I'm doing this, but this is real funky. What is happening? Yeah, that's the time when I went off for like super old graphics. Yeah. Started getting annoyed when the beginning levels changed like 3 times in a year. A lot of good memories in the classic. RS2 was the one that was on a mini clip. Mini clip? I don't know what mini clip is. You mean like the like browser version? Because I don't remember mini clip being part of it, but maybe that's just the browser. Yeah, okay. So what was RS1 on then if it wasn't on a browser? That was the website. I don't know if we ever logged it in as mini clip. I don't remember going on to mini clip. I remember going to runescape.com or whatever the hell it was. I could be wrong. It's been so long. Let me just check what I'm doing. Okay, we want a bit more, a bit longer. Yeah, like when I say it's been a long time, I think we started playing when we were like 9 or something. We weren't even in the double digits yet. I'm pretty sure. We got parental permission to play the game, and then that was it. We were itty bitty. I need to make this longer. Which means I need to make this longer. Because I want to make this. Oh no, wait. Hang on, we gonna make this taller, make this longer. And 4, 5. And then we're gonna curl it back this way, I think. I have an idea. Get rid of that. Get rid of this one. You can get RuneScape on your phone. Yeah, that's probably, I would say, no, you can't get like old school RuneScape on your phone. I vaguely remember this. I vaguely remember that being a thing that you can do. It works great on a phone? Nice. I mean, that doesn't like surprise me, but I'm glad that it does that, because then that reaches like a different market of people, because so many people play things on their mobile phone. I don't play too many mobile games, so, but I know that a lot of people do. Lasagna done? All right, go get your lasagna. Oh, to have a game work good on a phone. Well, I know what I'm doing tonight. Yeah, Yelty! Install that RuneScape. Hopefully your phone doesn't die. Okay, I made a mistake, I think, but it's fine. So we're gonna curl it this way, I think. I'm gonna curl it up. Up and in. Do this. Can I do that? Yeah. You have like 3 and you'll light your phone on fire? No. No. You have played so many beefy games on your phone. I've heard that people are able to play Genshin on their phone, and I'm like, dude, how? How do you play? Yeah, if Genshin in 2021 didn't kill it, nothing will. That's what I'm saying. I've heard tales of Genshin like not working great, fantastic on like computers, where like the graphics start trying to die, like insanity. Okay, getting time zone. Talk to you later. All right, good night. Have a good one. Thanks for stopping by. Okay, and then we're gonna go under there. Get time zoned again. Shame. Okay, and now I'm going to grab this way. I'm just gonna like butcher this over here. Come here, you. Okay, get rid of this. Okay. Okay, back 15 minutes to the feed. Nice. Is your phone hot? Yes. Did it work? Yes, yes it did. Mobile gaming is the most popular form of the gaming world. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. It's just, it's the bar of entry is very low as long as your phone can handle it. Portable gaming is huge. I, however, don't do portable gaming much. I simply just do not. Mostly because a lot of the time my phone can't handle it. It just like died. Like for a while I couldn't play Pokemon Go. I couldn't play Pokemon Go. My phone would not handle it. It was awful and it's so sad. Some friends were like, hey, you want to do like a remote raid? And I'm like, yeah, sure, why not? And then I couldn't fucking load the goddamn game. I was so sad about it. I was like, I can't play with my friends. They make console level games on phones like as a regular. Yeah, Genshin Impact, we were just like mentioning it as like an example for like mobile games that just somehow work. Okay, I need to go up and then I failed. Okay, hang on. Okay. Oh my god, please. Ow. Oh, nope, that didn't work. Ah, shit. Give me jump boost. There we go. Okay, I need to put my bucket down because otherwise it's gonna be annoying just to get up here. Okay. I'm going to put that back up, and then we're gonna keep you down. But then... do I wanna... hang on. I want to curl this back. I think I want to curl this back, actually. Give me a second. I'm gonna do this. Yeah. Most of the games don't migrate to North America and Europe. The Norman, Southeast Asia. That's just the normal level of game you see in like Korea, China, and Japan. You have two games you play regularly. They are Idle Slayer and like Animal Merging. No, both of them are idle games that don't require you to do stuff all the time. Yeah, I used to play a game. Oh, what the hell was it? It was like some sort of dragon game. And that I got to a point where it's like, yeah, wait 48 hours for your dragons to breed. No, it wasn't Merge Dragons, not the one that I was playing. It was Dragon Islands or something. The one I was playing anyway. Whoops. And it was just like, yeah, you gotta wait like 48 hours for your dragons to breed. And I was like, no, fuck that. And then I just like stopped playing the game, but I still have it, I think, somewhere. I just haven't played it for a while. I did like playing it because it was fun to like make different kinds of dragons. It was a fun time. Okay, I think this tentacle is done. Merge Meadow is so cute. I have no idea what that is. I have no concept of what that is. It's just the animals, no bull crappery. Just the animals, no bullshit. Okay, I need to do this. Get rid of you. Okay, I think we're good. Maybe I'll do that. Is this fine? Yeah, that's a neat like curl visually. Let's see how this looks when I get down. And then when we get to the walkway. Give me up, give me up, give me up, give me up. There we go. This could use a little bit of work. It's not nearly as like smooth to look at. Yeah, it's a little janky. I don't know if I care for this. The arcs don't go well. Because at least with this one, it has like this kind of arc. This one's just kind of a bit janky, so... what do I want to do with you? I don't want to fix this. I'll put another 2 up here, and then maybe we'll just like arc it that way. Let's fix this. I should have kept my bucket. Okay. So this one needs to be, oops. Yeah, 2 up. Ooh. Give me up. Oh, yeah, nice. You were like in high school when RuneScape first happened. You were started playing when you're like 16. Oh god. I remember in like grade 5 when people were like finishing up their work and stuff, they'd play it on the computer, and like our teacher, who was basically retirement age at that point, looks at the computer with like 3 guys all huddled around it, being like, what are you guys playing? And they're like, oh, it's RuneScape. They're like, is it online? And it's like, yeah, but you don't really need to like talk to anybody. You just kind of like play it. And then cut to a bit, like maybe a month later, and it's just blocked on the school computers. And it's like, oh, what the fuck? Bunch of fun killers. It's not their fault. I guess it's just like it's an online game and a bunch of 5th graders are freaking playing it during school. And like, sure, there's people that can like talk and stuff in the chat and stuff, but no one pays attention to that shit. No one pays attention to the random ass people in the chat. But they banned it, and I was so sad because I wanted to be able to play it when I was done my homework. It was so sad the day that I found out that it was like gone. I was like, I didn't get a chance. No. I was but a wee child. Okay, no, this is how this is gonna work. Yes. Just making sure that I'm not fucking this up. Okay. Okay, you go here, and then we're gonna go this way. Your phone just refused to show you the stream and explicitly invigorated black screen of death. Oh no. That does not sound good. Is it good now? Oh no. Okay, so let's do that, and then we're gonna go like this. Never mind, we back goals. Nice. Okay, well, it's not my stream, that's for sure. Because I can see it still working. Don't give me a heart attack. Just make me think that Twitch is dying again. Okay, I need to go over here. This way. Okay. Get rid of those. And do that. Do that there. Okay, and that should be fine. I don't see why not. Just a little bit of a curve right there. And then there'll be another one up there, and we're good. It definitely wasn't you, don't worry. It's just different. You can always sense it in the forest. Ah, I see. Your phone senses your fear and just does whatever it wants. Okay, let me try... Can I do this? Do that? Maybe that'll do it. Maybe that'll be fine. Let me go down. Woo! There we go. Okay, let's see how that looks on the walkway. Does that look better? Yeah, that looks better. Look at that. Simplified! Woo! That's better. Yes! Okay. That's much easier to read. And not nearly as janky looking, and it's probably going to be easier for me to build the rest of this on. Because I do have to remember this is going to have to get, like, turned into, like, a 3D shape. At the end of the day, it's still got to turn into a 3D shape. Of just tentacles. It's got to have a little bit of, like, extra blocks on the outside of this. Okay. Give me up. You're gonna play RuneScape until you fall into a deep, peaceful slumber. Alright, no worries. Go have fun. Thanks for stopping by, LT. Tell me how you like playing old school RuneScape. Have fun with the rats in the first dungeon. Surely they keep the rats. Surely they haven't changed it. Oh, frick, I missed. Alright, hang on. Doing some more recent content while you have me in the background. Nice. You get double the amount of RuneScape-y related things. Yeah, this is great. Look at this. Yes. This is gorgeous. Look at that. It's a little off center, but who cares? It's not supposed to be like centered perfectly. That's the whole point, is that it's just like this, but I like this. This is nice. This is very good. They released an update to woodcutting to make it more social and interesting. Really? How do you make woodcutting more social and interesting? How does that work? Okay, let me go around this way. Okay, so this looks good. This looks a little janky, but that's fine. It's not gonna be the worst thing in the world. This one's really good. One more. One more tentacle left to outline. And it is going to be in... we're gonna make it in this chunk right here. We're gonna put it right there. It's gonna be pretty close. Let me try and find where my thing is. Yeah, right here. Because this one goes backwards, so we're gonna go... Oops. Into this chunk? Yeah. There's events that happen while woodcutting, and there's benefits to multiple people woodcutting together. Oh, interesting. That's different. I don't remember anything being social in terms of like skill leveling. I just did so much stuff solo. Like, RuneScape is like an MMO, but I never played it like one. I played it like a single player that just so happened to have other people around. That's kind of how I play MMOs most of the time. They made a whole game mode around what you're talking about. It's called Iron Man Woman. Oh, I've heard of that, actually. One of the streamers that I follow, I think, was doing like an Iron Man run with people. I don't know. But I've heard of that. I've just never seen it in practice. At least, I mean, when I saw it in practice, I didn't fully understand what it was. I just was like vibing, honestly. I was just hanging out. Group 1 is a thing. You can only trade in your group. Yeah. So that's what they were doing. Okay, where am I putting this? How close to the chunk is this one? Because this one's a whole chunk. And then this one is in part of this one. So... okay. This one has to be closer. Because I want it to mirror, so how many blocks away? What the fuck? There's a creeper? Where is there a creeper loaded? Hang on. Where? Oh, it's on this thing. What? No shot a creeper loaded up on that. Where are you? There shouldn't be a way for you to What? Where? Huh? Or is it inside? Maybe it's inside it. It might be inside. Hang on, I want to double check. Is it inside this? Are you in here? You are in here! Oh no! The mobs! No! Shit. God damn it. Lasagna time! Lasagna time! Mistakes were made. Alright. Anyway. Okay, so how far away from this are you? Let's try it from here. One. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, and then go down here. This is gonna be really weird. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right? I didn't need to go up. Yeah, 1, 2, 3. Six, okay. That's on the 7th one. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then it's on this. Okay. There's like a bit of a hard cliff here, so it's gonna be weird. Okay, and then the edge of this is lining up with that. So you come here. 4, and then there we go. Oops. 1, 2, and then whee, up we go. 3, 4. We're gonna need to carve out a bit of this cliff just to get this to work. Okay. 2. 1, 2, and then 3, 4. Come on, and then 1, 2, 4. 2, 4. Yes. Beautiful. And then I don't know where the center is. We're just gonna have to like wing this one. I'm gonna dig this out. I'm gonna dig this out because this is gonna be annoying and in my way. Get out of my face. Get out of here. I'm gonna start dying. Ah! Do I need gravel? Not really, but I'm grabbing it anyway. Okay. Hang on. I'm coming. Now, I wish I kept the outline for that one as a reference, but whatever. Do this. I'm gonna have to go repair my wings at some point soon. Okay. Wait, I have mining. Can I have the buff, please? Thank you. There we go. Sweet. Just need to mine the hell out of this before my buff goes away and then I go get it again. Yeah, there we go. Sweet. Just need to get rid of this. Get out of my way. Get it out of my sight. Okay, and now I need a shovel. I don't need you. I've kind of made a mess, but it's fine. We're gonna be hiding it anyway. Ow. I have too much shit in my pockets. Hang on. Whee! Okay, let me chuck... get rid of those, get rid of these. I don't need the gravel in my pockets. Oh, I need the dirt. Throw those in there. I don't need the axe right now. I need those. I don't need the hoe. Well, I kind of do need the hoe. Just not presently. Okay. That's definitely not going to be enough for him, but whatever. Woo! Okay. Look at all the blocks. Give me. There we go. The dolphin's gonna start knocking shit over. You little shit. Oh, there's so many things down here. There's so many blocks. Come here, you. Yeah, see, the dolphin's just booping all the things. Can you stop booping things? You little shit. Get out of the way! Anyway, let me just dig down. Can you move? Oh my god, get out of my way. Oops, too far. There we go. Da, da, da. Da, 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 da. There we go. I need to get rid of that. There's so much stuff in the way. Ah. I'm going. Just most of the items are being pulled down. Can I get my mining again, please? Thank you. Whoa, the dolphin's grace. Can you please? Goodness gracious. Get rid of this. Dolphin, please. I don't want to punch you with my pickaxe. Please. Just stay out of the way. You fool. I like how I can hear mobs. Okay. That's done. There is certainly a dungeon back here somewhere. But I don't care. Okay, are we good? Not quite. Oops. It's too strong. It's too much. Ah! Okay, and let's get rid of the edge ones. Let's see. God damn, the dolphin's grace, can you please? Okay, we're good. I have no room in my pockets. There's some shulkers over here. I'm sure I can chuck some stuff in the shulkers. Never, well, yeah, okay, there's some room. Okay, is there room in here for any of this? No. Let me grab all this shit. Keeping it just in case. Never know when you need the blocks. There's so many. Ah! Freaking stop. Ah! It's too much. It's too speedy. just want to get this last one. That's all I want. The outlines are needed. Ah! I went into range. It went zoom. I don't need all of this. Nope, don't you dare. Nope. No, you little shit. I'm just gonna trap you in there. Get out. Get out of there. You don't need to be in there. Okay, we do that. Just get rid of this nonsense. Let me just fill this in. Because it just looks like a nightmare realm. Because we don't need you. Okay, that's fine. There's so many blocks just under here. I know I'm dying. Shush. Alright. Ah. Look at me go. I'm zooming. I zoom. Okay. Did I keep the internal? I don't think I did. Okay. We're just gonna turn off the chunks. And let's see. Okay, so that one curves upwards over here. It's a very subtle curve. So if I... Give me a second, I'm trying to think. Okay. Let's grab the center, which would be over here. I don't have enough dirt, actually. Hang on. Needing more dirt. I ran out. Wait, is there dirt over here in the shulkers? That would be kind of great. Is there? Aha! There is. Beautiful! Okay, let me check this. Check those. That in there. But that, I can't put that in there. I'll take this. Hi, Bane! Welcome! I'm doing good. How are you doing? Thank you for the daily roar. Welcome in. This dolphin is just going ham. You need to not. Oh, there's stuff right here. Can I gather that, please? Thank you. Alright, let's put this right there. Yeah. That'll work. Yeah, so right now, Bane, I am currently just doing the outlines for the tentacles that I'm building all the way around the Guardian Temple, or Guardian Farm. The Guardian Farm. So far, if I go up here, because I'm gonna pass out anyway, you can see behind me there's some dirt all the way around. And these are all gonna be, these are all like the bones, or like the skeletal structure of what the tentacles are gonna look like. And I wanted them to look nice as, like, if we walked from along the walkway here. So I just finished this one right here. And we're doing one last one. This one is supposed to mirror this one, which was the proof of concept one that I had done initially. So it's kind of like a subtle curve to it. All the other ones are a little crazy, but I don't want the front one to be crazy because I want the focal point to be on the tower from the front. All the other ones, you don't really need to see anything really. So like, there's not really much to look at here. I mean, other than the tower itself. So having like cool things right here is nice, and then you can kind of see them in the distance. I just didn't want them to be taller than these, which I don't think it is, so it's fine. And now it is time to make this come forwards a little bit somehow. Yeah. Now, do I want this to already be here? I'll probably make the center right there. It's a little off-centered, but it's fine. Alright, so this one can go 1, 2. Is the middle in that one? I don't think it is. I don't think I left the middle bit in here. I did! Okay, sick. I did leave it in here. Okay, so it's 2, 2, 2, 2, 3, 3, 3, something else. Hey! Alad dream game on. Oh, hang on, I can't read. Alad, a dream game on. Yeah, no, I read that right. Okay. Welcome, raiders! Welcome, welcome. Thank you for the raid, Alad. I hope you all had a good stream. Welcome. I'm just going to exit the water so I don't die. Welcome, everybody. I see we're playing Children of Silent Town. I don't think I've ever heard of that. Yes, hello, fellow Twitch Women's Guild member. Which, by the way, if you guys don't know who or what the Twitch Women's Guild is, let me just click on a button. If I can find the button. There you go. Exclamation mark Twitch Women's Guild. What is it? This is what it is. So it's an indie game. Okay. Is it like a horror indie game? That kind of sounds like a horror indie game. I've never heard of it before, so I do not know. Did the same thing for you, Andrew stream. All right, cool. Oh, good. I haven't pressed the button in a while. I don't think I pressed it this stream, so it's more for my chat to have pressed the button. You just prompted the lovely reason to do so. It's Tim Burton style. It's sad. Oh, I see. Okay. So it's kind of like a melancholy kind of thing. It's a horror game when you do the hide and seek. Oh no. Oh no. That sounds horrifying. And it glitched? Oh, that's so bad. It's so terrifying. Hang on, I gotta get back in here. I need the reference for this. Ah! Okay, so it's 2, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3s. Okay. I'm just gonna keep this open. No, I can't do scary games, so I feel that. I feel that all about much. You should sleep. You have work in the morning. We're happy to be able to raid you. Thank you very much for the raid again, Alad. Hang on. I don't think I have any mods right now. Alad. Dream game on. Okay, there we go. I can't really. Oh, that's because. Okay, I have to write the words shout out. It's not like that whole thing. I'm just gonna copy paste your name. But... give me a minute. If there's anybody in my chat who doesn't follow Alad, go do it. Go do the thing. Go follow a fellow Twitch Women's Guild member. It's a process. Yeah, no, I thought it would be /SO, and no, you have to type the whole thing out. Great. But yeah. Go get yourself some rest, Alad. Thank you very much for sending your peeps over. And if there's anybody else that also needs to just go, you know, rest and stuff, if you want to lurk, there's a lurk command, or you can just like vibe and chill as we're Minecrafting and everything else. It's all good. We're just playing on this. I'm building some like structure blocks around for some tentacles coming out of the ocean around my guardian tower and everything. And we're just vibing and building. That's all we're doing. Frosty Tools automatically does it for you. If you wanted a suggestion, hey, I'm always here for suggestion. I know my bot does like go follow them, but it doesn't do like the slash shout out. I should probably just change the command. There's probably ways to do it, but I appreciate it. Always looking for new tools for things. Whether or not I'm going to be able to actually use the tools is entirely debatable if I have time. Good night. Have a good one. We're just vibing. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm trying to make this about as same as this one because this one needs to be kind of similar. I want it mirrored. Okay, so that one had 2 3s and a 4. And maybe next time I stream this, we'll probably maybe start these. And if not, then we'll do that at some point. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then, another 3. Okay. This is a 4, a 5, and a 3. All right, 4. We need a 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. Doo-doo-doo. Also, for anyone who is new into the stream, I generally do a bunch of story games and stuff. I recently finished playing Dragon Age, so usually Tuesdays would be Storytime Tuesdays, but because I just finished playing Awakening, which is the last of the Dragon Age Origins DLCs, we're taking a little bit of a break from the big old story games, and before like Christmas break and everything, and we're just gonna kind of chill with a couple of the next streams. So if you like to chill like with Minecraft in the background, or even other farming sim games like Stardew or Coral Island or whatever, or art, you know, all that jazz, if that's something that interests you, feel free to click the follow button and everything. I stream every Tuesday and Friday, so I have a bit of a schedule if that works. Okay, so I did that right. So then the 5 and then the 3 comes back that way. Okay, cool beans. Yeah, just wanted to like, I usually forget to do a little bit of a spiel of who the hell I am. Whenever there's raids, I'm like, yeah, you can just like vibe, whatever. Okay, then 2, 3, and then this one's like a 2, but it's going to the side. No, other way. Other side for that one. Yes. Okay. Now, is this going to work? Okay. So 2, 2, a 3, 3, 4, 5, and then another 3 plus a 2, and then I'm just gonna go into spectator mode because I don't care anymore. That's a 2, and then another 2. Okay, so that goes in a diagonal. Fuck. And the reason I'm in spectator mode is that because this is my server and I just do whatever. If it's easier, I just kind of fudge the rules, and by the rules I mean I just go into God mode for a hot second. 2, 3, and then we kind of wing it at that point. 2, 3. Did I have a screenshot of what this looks like with the bare bones? Maybe I do. Surely. Maybe I don't. Maybe I don't have a screenshot of what this looks like with just like the bare bones of it. Nope. Damn. Unfortunate. I think I just have a bunch of other screenshots. Damn it. It's not until ever it's done. Alright, fine. Okay, so... we're gonna go on a diagonal. We're gonna go. So that's a 2 and then a 3. And then we're gonna do another 1, 2. And yeah, okay, we're just gonna wing that one. Back into survival. Okay, 2, and this is gonna be 3. 2, 3 for this one. Do that there. Okay. Can I get my jump boost back, please? There we go. Jump boost. Whee! Okay, so this one wants like a 1 here. And then I think we want to like curve that way, because you know what, at this point I don't think I'm gonna be able to perfectly replicate it, but we'll just do close enough, I guess. And then do that, and then maybe we'll do 2 here, 3 here, and then let me grab this. Oops, that's not what I wanted to do. Get out of here. Get rid of you. Okay, let me do this. Get rid of those. These little blocks. Alright. Do those. And then I think we want actually it to go backwards more. Where's my... Because it's going this way, but I think we kind of want more of a straight line, I think. Oh, this should be fine. Yeah, I think we're on the right track. We just need... Alright. Just need to be able to do... a little bit more of the sideways bit. Then we go down. Grab you. There we are. Okay, and then that should be enough. I hope. It's kind of similar because this is right above. Oops. Ooh, ow. Yeah, this block is like right above, so we're pretty much even on that. So if I go over here and check how this looks like from this perspective. Yeah, that looks pretty even. Oops, hang on, whoa. Yeah. That looks good. I'll take it. And then if I go here, that looks about right. So now we can see all the different like little tentacles that are kind of around. This one kind of loops that way, this one goes that way. We curl around this way. So if I go... Gotta zoom. Okay. Do that. I don't like how these are still here. How did I do that? Oops. My bad. Okay. Swap that back. Let's walk around the edges. And see what it looks like as we walk around. We got that tentacle there. We have this little one there. So this is like tall one, short one. And then we got another short one. Then we got this one that's reaching upwards here. And then we've got these two other ones here that are definitely like reaching upwards and like out. Definitely it's gonna feel a little bit like intimidating around this edge. And then we'll have like this one right here. It just like pops out of the water. Similar to this one. Where it's just like a little bit out of here. This might get adjusted as I build like this. Because this is actually like one of the harder parts. Is that my death? Where? Oh, yeah, okay, that's the deep dark. My death is just way over there. And this is actually just like the main map. Okay, so this is actually not too far away. This is pretty close. I forgot how far away this was from the actual main server. Nice. It's actually pretty close. All right, so that's progress that I just wanted to make today. All I wanted to do. It's really pretty. Because I don't know if I want to finagle with trying to do this outside bit. I'm gonna be real. I think my brain is too tired for that. Let me go chuck my inventory out of the way. There's only a few things left with this build that I'm not quite done yet. One is the tentacles that are needing to be done, like over there. It's kind of fun that you can kind of see them from down here, actually. So you can see a couple of them. You can't see all of them, but you can see a few of them. You can see that one. You can't see that one because it's too low, and you can't see the other front ones. Ow. I mean, maybe you can see the other front ones. You can kind of see a little bit of that one. But I do like that there's like a few of them that you can really definitely see. That's fun. Especially these two. But yeah, there's only like a few things left of this build. That the tentacles being one, and then the other last thing is decorating the inside of the sand here and terraforming it so that there is sneaky lighting with the sea pickles and giving it some more color, because as you can see over here, for example, there's just nothing here and there's a bunch of torches and stuff, and I want it to be more like this, where there's some dead coral and coral, some sea pickles giving off light so that no mobs can spawn, so that I don't have to have torches everywhere. And then, of course, there's going to be like some sea lanterns and stuff. But for the most part, I want it to be like some little sneaky sea pickles and like waterlogged stuff so that the coral doesn't die. And then there's some coral that is dead because that's just, you know, by design. And then also adding a bit more texture to this bit because I have some end stone. Where's the end stone? Where did you go? Yeah, so there's some end stone bricks. I have some actual end stone, and I want to use that to texture some of the sand. So if I grab some of this and I toss it I'll just start sticking it kind of like over here. Kind of thing. Because it kind of looks a little bit more like coral. But it's like sandy coral and stuff. So adding a few of these in places to like add a little bit of texture to this. Should like look pretty good. Just something to break up the sand, I think. At least I hope that looks good. I imagined it looked good. I don't actually know. I just thought maybe it would have a similar enough of a color that would work. But yeah, that's basically it. And then just filling in like these bits, making a better entrance, I think, to this would probably be good. Cause I don't have a good entrance, and just probably getting rid of the cactus. I don't think I need this anymore. It was mainly for the cyan concrete, and I don't really need that anymore. Not right now anyway. I probably should just make a normal cactus farm. But this was like my cheat way to do it. So yeah, let me go back up. Over here. Whee! Let's go up to the top. Or not. Never mind. Now, let me see. Where do I want to end off? We can probably end right on top of this. Let's go right here. It's a little dark. You know what? There's a bed right behind me. For once in my life, I'll go on the bed. Ow. Come on, get me in here. Alright, for once I will sleep on this fucking server. There you go. Alright. There it is. Look at all of the lovely... You can't even really see them. But essentially, we've got a bunch of the tentacles all like blocked out and ready to put some meat on them skeletal dirty bones. Speaking of skeleton. So next time I'm able, I'll start like beefing these up. I'll start putting the warped blocks around these. And yeah, maybe it's next stream. Maybe I'll just do it on my own and give you guys updates. Who the fuck knows? Some of these may or may not change shape. Like this one, I feel like this one can probably do a little bit better. Kind of like this one right here. This one might need a little bit of adjustment. It looks a little janky from this angle, but whatever. Probably figure it out when I build things around it. But yeah, that's basically it. Thank you all very much for stopping by, whether you've been here since the beginning, the middle, the end, or you're watching the VODs, or you've been lurking. Your company has been very much appreciated. And if you're still here from the raid and stuff, thank you very much. If you've gotten this far and you haven't done so already, please do click the follow button. I have a nice, lovely goal of 500. Be kind of cool to get to that by the end of the year. Don't think I will, but it would be cool. Or maybe, you know what, 400 and like 92, you know, just throwing numbers in there. But yeah, thank you very much. Let me see if there's anyone we can raid. So if you want to stick around and if you're gonna like join us for a nice lovely raid, thank you very much. And if you're gonna go to bed like me, I hope you have a good time zone. Take care of yourselves, drink some water, have some food, take some meds if you have any that you haven't taken already. This is your meds check time. And yeah, all right, I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye. Let me